Hi, I'm here with my client, Steve, and with Steve's little girl, Maddie. Hi, Maddie. Oh, she doesn't cooperate very much. The reason I'm doing this video presentation is because a lot of times we only think of estate planning as a way to distribute our money and our property and our possessions upon our death. But as many of you know who know me, I look at estate planning as something very different. I look at it as a way for somebody like me who's a baby boomer to make sure that I can take care of my children who are under the age of 18 if something happens to me. I also look at it for my older clients as a way to plan for their incapacity so that they're not abused financially or neglected when they're older, so they can make a voice, have somebody be their voice if they don't have one. Now, there's other reasons why people do estate plans, and one of the reasons that Steve did an estate plan was to take care of Maddie. Is that right, Steve?
Absolutely. Maddie's my little girl here, and we want her to be well looked after if I go before she does.
And so Steve Steve had had me draft a pet trust for him. And had you ever heard of that before?
No, I hadn't. I never thought it would be necessary, to tell you the truth, because I expect my wife to outlive me, and unfortunately she didn't.
And so now that you've established a pet trust, how do you feel about leaving Maddie if that's the way it happens?
Oh, I'm very happy. She's got a good place to go, and she'll be has plenty of money to get her $3 a can dog food and good vet care. So she's well taken care of. She will be well taken care of.
And what about the beautiful hairdos that she has?
Oh yeah, that'll come out of the money too. Yeah, she'll be well provided for. I have no concerns anymore.
Steve, now that your wife is no longer here, does that give a special meaning for Maddie in your life?
Oh, absolutely. Pat and Maddie just adored each other. I mean, Maddie would try and climb in the shower in the morning with Pat, and if Pat of course wouldn't let her in, then Pat and Maddie would lie on the shower mat so Pat couldn't get out the door, and they just went everywhere together. And so that's my connection with Maddie now. I really believe. I don't believe. Well, let me rephrase that. I really believe that somehow Pat's got an eye on Maddie and me, and she's just making sure that she's well cared for. And I think she's a happy little dog, as you can see. She's got her toy, and she's got a full tummy, and people that love her, and a nice big yard to run around in. So she's a happy little girl, I think.
Now, before we were filming, you told me that you had 5 other dogs. What were their names?
Well, we had 4 other dogs: Marty, Misty, Mindy, Mandy, and Maddie is the 5th one. We have no children, so these were our children. And after Mandy died, which was about 25 years ago, Pat got Mandy while I was in Vietnam, and after she died, in the 1980s, I guess, Pat said, "No more. I can't take it anymore." And Maddie just kind of dropped in on our laps. She was rescued by a wonderful group called the Dexter Foundation. Found her wandering the streets in Fresno and shaggy and cold and hungry, and they delivered her to us, and she's got a good home ever since, and she's very happy, as you can see. All she needs is her little. Can we show her? There's Penny, her penguin. We have 3 of them because she keeps eating the fur, so I had to buy 3 of them.
So, just so people can understand what's involved in a pet trust, when somebody sets up a pet trust, it's just like setting up a trust for a child. And if you predecease Maddie, then you know that somebody will take care of her and they have the financial wherewithal to do so, correct?
Absolutely, and it's very comforting to know that. And unfortunately, I'm able to provide that to the person that's going to be her caregiver, and I know someone that I can trust to really take good care of her and keep her happy and healthy. And we don't know how old Maddie is because she was a stray. We think she's about between 6 and 7 years old. So although she acts like a puppy, so she's got a good 10 years left, and I'm not sure that I do. So in any case, it's very comforting to me, and I'm sure it is would be to my wife to know that she's going to have a good home when the time comes.
Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate you participating in this interview, and I hope and I'm pretty confident that you will have more than 10 happy and healthy years left.
Thank you very kindly, and I hope people will consider how they take care of their pets. Unfortunately, the shelters are full of animals who are had to be abandoned because somebody couldn't take care of them any longer. So I really hope that people take this information to heart and do something similar to what I did.
I agree with you. I have lots of clients and they have pets, and it's something that they don't think about, and oftentimes when somebody passes away and they haven't made plans for their pets, the pets end up going to pounds. So if this is you, please, just another thing to consider when you're making a responsible plan for yourself and the people and creatures that you love. Bye, Maddie. Want to say something? Want to growl at me? Want to growl at me?
Okay. Look at Penny. There are 3 of those things now because he slowly eating the fur off or licking the fur off the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get that from the World Wildlife Fund.
So cute.